story, what your life was like before this, and what it's like been since you've had this protocol in your life.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kenny. Hello, everybody. Well, before I started the protocol, I was 236 pounds. I had gastric sleeve surgery in 2015. I lost maybe 50 or 60 pounds, but I gained it all back maybe after 2 years. It had all come back, and I'm getting older. I'm 66 years old, so my system was slowing down. And I went to see my surgeon, and I asked him, what other alternative do I have? And he sort of like made me understand very clearly that I wasn't moving enough, and it was basically my fault. But I was eating like this much, three to six times a day, because sometimes I couldn't eat because I would throw up. And so they kept on telling me to eat 6 times a day and to move more. But I had so much joint pain, and I was tired all the time. I was grumpy. My husband couldn't talk to me that I like, don't touch me. Don't do nothing. It's not a good time. So my kids at one point, they showed me TikTok. I'm making this story very short there because I know others have to talk to. And I was scrolling on TikTok, and then I came across Dr. Kenny. And Dr. Kenny, I was listening to him, and I was thinking to myself, this is like almost impossible. What he's telling is just a drink would do everything that he says he's doing. That's crazy. That's not possible. So anyway, I was landed at a point where the doctor had no solution for me except for get out and move more, which I couldn't do. So I said, well, what the heck? I know I'm going to try it and I'll see. So I said, I'm just going to do it for a month. And, there's a money back guarantee, so I'm not losing. And after 2 weeks, I started to lose 10 pounds. And then I went a little bit more. Within a month, I'd lost 20 pounds. And I said, my God, what's this? And I was covered from head to toe in eczema with joint pain. My joint pain it's going away. It's not as sore. I used to not be able to walk more than 5 minutes, and I'd have to sit down. So my joint pain was going away. My eczema was clearing up. I still have a bit of eczema. It's taking a little time to go away, but it is going away. I still only have a little bit here. This eye cleared up this week. My hands are getting better. So yeah, I'm really happy about that because eczema is it's energy draining. It just takes everything out of you. And so basically that's it. I'm like feeling wonderful. I'm happy now. My husband can talk to me without me jumping at him. He's really happy about it. And so yeah, it's wonderful, and I'm feeling great. And now I walk 3K a day, and no pain. I can go up and down stairs, no pain. I had to sell my house because I couldn't negotiate with the stairs anymore. So, but now I'm going up. I'm living in a condo now, so I go up the 4 flights of stairs that I have to go up, and I just go up in one shot. I don't stop. Before I used to have to stop at the first floor, and then I get my breath, but now I go up to 4 floors, no problem. Basically, that's it. That's my story.
Linda, I had a question. I remember you telling me, like, just to share how bad your chronic inflammation was. You sign language for university. Yeah. That's how you make a living. And you were telling, would you go into that?
Sure. Yes, for sure. When you sign language in ASL, which is the American Sign Language, they do a lot of hand spelling. In the French sign language, there's not as much, but there is some. And like, my name is Linda. So you have to be able to move your fingers like this. And the pain that you have to do it fast because, you have to get the message out. So I wasn't able to do that anymore. I'd sign and the pain would be, I was just concentrating, get the sound, get the word out and stop, But now I can, as you can see, I can do it. There's no pain. So and I decided, I'm not retiring. So
I love it. Linda, too, I mean, you and I spoke a little bit. I've got to know you better through this whole process, and I feel so grateful for that. And you were telling me about your son, right?
Yeah.
And would you go into, because a lot of people ask us about kidney and how this can be affected. Would you explain his situation, what you've noticed with this?
Sure. The story is quite long, but I'll try and make it very short. My son was born with only one kidney. And by the age of 19, I had him under control for the food and what to eat and what not to eat. I was like mom's strict mom, And at 19, he sort of told me to leave me alone. I'm going to do what I have to do. So he did what he had to do, and his kidney failed because he was eating hamburgers, hot dogs, and all the rest of the good food. So his kidney failed. At 19, he was on dialysis. He was on that for 5 years. And then he got a kidney. He got a transplant. When he was on the dialysis, he developed epilepsy. So he still has the issue with epilepsy, and they're still trying to control his dosage to figure out what's going to stop his seizures. But his new kidney is functioning very well, but his old kidney, which was landed at 3%, they decided to go on dialysis because his system wasn't getting filtered. So his old kidney now, because he's taking the products, has gone up to, I think it's 10% now.
So it's over tripled.
Yeah.
Wow.
So his filtration is like almost 2 kidneys working. It's a kidney and a half. And it's working so well that his medication for epilepsy is being filtered out. So he's having seizures. So that's why they have to now either put it up or put it down. They're trying to figure it out. But every time he goes, it changes because he's taking the product and it's still getting better and better and better. So, And
you said his immunosuppressing drug has been reduced. I thought so as well.
Not yet. Not yet. But I think it's coming to that because he has to go back to the doctor and his nephrologist to check it out next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Linda, and as a mother, I can only imagine what that's got to feel like, right? To see your son finally.
Yeah, I saw him in the hospital with tubes everywhere for a good while. I almost lost him 5 times after his transplant. And now he's doing okay. He's walking around. He's going to school and going to work and being a 19-year-old at the age of 30.
Wow. So grateful for you. And I'm so grateful that you took the chance on what we shared. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you.
So impactful, and it's changing so many lives, and we really appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the chance to tell everybody. I appreciate it.
Well, Bridget, hello. Bridget is, funny enough, from my home state of West Virginia. And so, Bridget, if you could, Emery, too, you should start to maybe, we didn't show, did I send you Linda's picture? If not, we can show you Bridget. I'm sorry. Well, I'll show you Bridget's picture, right? But Bridget, if you would, what's your life? You've only been on the protocol for a month-ish, 2 months, I think. So I'll let you take it away. But this is, and Bridget, correct me if I'm wrong. This was you. And this is you. And it looks like you're even developing your hair back. Have you noticed that? Because I get this a lot with people, right? So, would you share? That's a big topic, right? So I'm blessed and got a lot of hair, thank goodness. But look at the difference in you. Holy smokes. Please share away.
Yes, I started the program in January 21st. I was at 264 pounds. I am now almost 238 pounds. Yes, my hair is getting thicker. I'm able to walk around. We have 12 acres. I'm able to walk around without running out of breath. Joint pain. I work from home. I literally at night, as soon as I get off work, I would literally just sit on the couch the rest of the evening. Since I've started this, I have so much energy. I'm able to enjoy the outside now and walk around. Also, I've noticed that the skin tags I was having, they are starting to go away. The dark skin around my neck is gone. Trying to think. Sorry. The clarity of my mind, that is coming. That's getting better. So I really am. My husband is the one that got me onto this program. He kept telling me about it, and I was the same way. I'm hypoglycemia. I had to eat every 2 hours, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to fast this long. No way at all. He just told me, please try it, and I did. The first day I tried it, I was able to fast for 15 hours. Now I go to about 17, 18 hours of fasting. And it's just been a wonderful program, and I'm excited, and I'm going to stay on it.
So happy. And your husband, I mean, how's he done on this thing? I mean, he's like, you sent me his photo and I was like, who is this guy? It was crazy, right?
Yes. So he's lost over 25 pounds. I'm sorry he couldn't be on it here tonight. He has to get up at 3 a.m, but he's lost 35 pounds, and his profession is he's an ice cream man. He delivers ice cream. So before he started this program, he would eat ice cream every day, and he had neuropathy on his feet, hip pain, getting in and out of the truck, gone. He stopped as soon as he started this program. He has no urge to even try the ice cream, and he's able to get up and down. The hip pain's getting better for him. So, and also my eyesight is starting to do better too. My glasses, I'm gonna have to get another prescription because it's starting to be blurred vision because my script is too strong now.
Bridget, we hear that all the time, and I feel so dumbfounded because as a chiropractor, I used to see, I can't even tell you how many neuropathy patients, sciatica. I had no idea it was insulin resistance in the nerve, right? So incredible. Like, thank you so much for sharing. Is there, when your husband shared this with you, my wife was like you. She's like, I can't fast. There's no way. But we're going to talk about how we can help you do that. And has this been simplest thing you've ever done? Has it been sustainable? I mean, do you feel like it's simple to carry on?
Absolutely. This has been a great program. Before the program, I was eating every 2 hours, and it was just like a roller coaster. You're constantly going up and down, up and down. And I was getting hot flashes. They're gone. I don't have them anymore. And I think some of it had to do with my sugar going down, and also menopause. So I'm going through that, and that has absolutely went away. I don't even have the night sweats or the hot flashes or anything at nighttime. So, I'm able to walk outside and not feel like I'm going to pass out or drop, or, I almost felt like I was on vertigo all the time. And it was just, this is amazing. I love it.
I'm so grateful, and you're just getting started, and I can't wait to see. I mean, congrats. You're getting a lot of love. We're so grateful. Thank you for sharing. And we're going to bring on the next person. We get a couple more, and then I'm going to dive into what is this thing? How are we doing this with people, right? So, Nikki, I've got to know very well this. Thank you so much, Bridget. Please thank your husband too. And Nikki, I mean, I'm going to be in Iowa next week with you, right? So if you're in the Iowa area and you know people, let us know. We're going to be there doing a workshop about this. But Nikki, I mean, how has it been for you, since you started this? Because you really tried it for you and your mom. And I'll let you go from here. But go ahead.
Yeah, everybody sharing. I'm just like, wow. Yeah, eyesight, getting better, all these things. So I got it from my mom to begin with. I didn't really think I needed it. In that before picture, that was 2024. I had neuropathy, migraines, tunnel vision. I didn't know about the protocol yet. I didn't find Kenny here on TikTok until 10 months after this. So I knew enough to cut out sugar because nobody could help me. Nobody could give me any answers for neuropathy. And I thought, oh my gosh, at 38, this isn't going to get better. This is scary. And it's really scary because doctors can't help me. I don't know what to do. So I cut out sugar. I dropped about 10 pounds. My neuropathy got a little better. My migraines got a little better. But then I ran into this guy, Dr. Kenny, on TikTok of all places. And he just started answering questions that I'd had for my mom, my dad. My dad passed at 50. My mom has been chronically sick and ill for most of her life. She's in an assisted living now. So in a nutshell, my entire family is on this now. How it got started was we got my mom on. She dropped 100 triglycerides in 2 months from 400 to 300. My My mom is legally blind from type 2 diabetes. She went blind at 55. So it's a big deal. And she mentioned her eyesight, and this is kind of tough because my mom's prescription hasn't changed over the years to where they're giving her new prescriptions, but her vision just seems off lately, she said. And I'm like, Mom, I bet your prescription with the little bit of peripheral that you have left is your glasses are probably too strong. So we're just trying to figure that out now. I'm thinking her triglycerides went down, guys. She was on high blood pressure meds for 45 years. We just got her off of her high blood pressure meds. It did take 8 months, but she was 160 systolic. I'm so sorry, my dog's gonna bark here. 160 systolic on 40 milligrams of blood pressure meds, and she dropped down to 129 over 75, and she's 75. It did take 8 months, and she got very dizzy. So I said, we got to take you in, we got her off of the meds. So let's see, triglycerides down, her HDL went up. So that's great. She went from a 2XL shirt on the left there to a 1XL. Her pants are getting super baggy. She's always carried that bigger midsection. That's just, she's starting to melt a lot, but it took about 8 months for her. I got on, I didn't think I needed a whole lot, but my neuropathy is completely gone now. I went from a large shirt down to an extra small shirt, 31 gene down to a 26 gene. No more migraines. I haven't had any migraines since I started, and we're going on month 11, my mom and I. No neuropathy, no tunnel vision. Obviously, migraines are gone. I just feel so good. My lab work is elite, like a 29-year-old. I'm 40. So that's great. My HDL went up to 63 from 55. So my husband was watching my mom and I for 7 months, and my son, he's 17. And my husband had chronic IBS for 20 years. He works with pesticides and chemicals. Wow. And chronic anxiety as well, which we now know is from, gut. Anyway, December 12th, he hit his rock bottom with his IBS, and he said, I need to start something. So he started on this. Within 3 weeks, he went from a 2XL shirt down to a 1XL. He was in a 36 gene there. He's now down to a 34. He's down 20 pounds. Lots of inflammation. He feels really good. He has always worked out. He worked out in the before picture there, but he was so inflamed, you could never see definition. He could never get the results that he wanted. He's able to fast now. He was a cookie monster. So he was in the cookie closet every hour. A lot of us can relate to that. He doesn't do that anymore. He's able to fast. He skips breakfast now. He drinks his tea. So that's huge. And then our 17-year-old just got started too. And he's down about 13 pounds. His mood and his energy just went through the roof on day 2, because younger people, they click faster because they haven't been as sick as we have for years. So sometimes don't measure your results. But what I can tell you is this works for a 74-year-old, it works for 40-year-old men and women, and it works for 17-year-olds. Every single one of us has had amazing results. We cannot imagine our life without this protocol. So we're very thankful. And I'm sure I forgot a lot of other great things that have happened. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Man, and I wish I'd have known this sooner for my little girl who's 13, right? Because having moods better, right? This is crazy, isn't it? And so, Nick, I mean, like, what would you just say to somebody if they were on the fence about looking at this, Nick?
Yeah, stop looking at it. Start taking it, I think Kenny knows that too. I was always like, oh, I want to test it out. And it's like, looking back now with the 4 of us, with the different ages, with the different ailments and symptoms, guys, if you use it, it's not going to let you down. So you don't have to wonder. Just if you've been looking for a solution, this is it.
Love it. Thank you. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go in and there are a lot of people are like, what, and if you're on this protocol, if you're new and have never tried it, do me a favor, put new in the chat. And if you're on this protocol and this thing has transformed your health and life, do me a favor and just put in the chat how it's transformed your life. And whoever brought you to this call, if they're close to you, know and love you, I just ask you the question, would they do anything to hurt you, right? So just ask yourself these questions. Now, I want to share with you my own ignorance. So 93% of Americans have what is called insulin resistance. So we're going to go into this protocol and what we're all using. Now, what do you look for? How do you know even what insulin resistance is? I thought insulin meant, well, I'm not diabetic. I don't have to worry about that. And I nearly died for what I'm getting ready to share with you. Now, number one sign of insulin resistance is belly fat. And I hit my mid-30s. It didn't matter how much I restricted my calories. Linda already told you this. She did gastric sleeve surgery. They shrank her stomach. They know within 5 years medically, you're going to gain the weight back. She's eating less calories, right? But she's eating more frequently. We're going to talk about why this happens. And so that belly won't go away when your insulin levels are elevated. Insulin makes tissue grow. So all of a sudden, your body starts throwing up skin tags everywhere. My skin tags are gone. And also inflammation chronically. I had right shoulder pain, couldn't sleep on it. I had sleep apnea, high blood pressure, sugar that was all over the place. I was on a roller coaster ride and constant cravings. Those are just some early warning signs that your insulin levels are elevated. Now I want to ask everyone a question. Does the food companies make money when you eat or when you don't? How many of you have been told to eat every 2 hours to keep your metabolism elevated? If you have, put a 2 in the chat. Now, let me show you why I'm bringing this up. If you drank just a tiny bit of alcohol, I want to give an example. If you never drink, you wouldn't need a lot of it. If you started to drink that alcohol every day, you would need more because your cells would become resistant. No different than if you drank coffee all day long, right? What would happen if you drank just a little bit of alcohol every couple of hours? Would you need more of it to get the same effect? This is exactly what happens with your cells when you're bathing them in insulin all day long. And these warning signs start to happen in the right corner. And all of a sudden, your body starts shoving sugar into your joints. You start getting arthritic joint pain. You start to get medical conditions that end in the letters ITIS. That means inflammation. The colitis means your colon's on fire. Your bronchitis means your lungs are on fire. Gingivitis, your teeth are on fire. Do you think it's a lack of brushing causing your cavities? Why do cave people have all of their teeth? Guys, this is a pandemic that no one understands. And we're going to break this down to where your 5-year-old will understand it. And so not only do you start to get these ITIS conditions, but you also start to get all of that extra sugar stuffed right into your liver, known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, when your liver gets plugged up and fatty, your triglycerides start to go up. Your LDL, your VLDL, and your lipoprotein B go up, and your HDL goes down. How many of you have seen blood work like that? We're going to show you natural solutions to this. Your blood pressure starts to go up because when you eat, insulin and cortisol gets spiked and shrinks that blood vessel. And well, does that make pressure go up or down? It's more likely to pop. When you have 15 years of insulin resistance, you eventually get what's called type 2 diabetes. When you got type 2 diabetes, your cardiovascular risk goes up 80%. Dementia and Alzheimer's goes up 81%. Erectile dysfunction in men, polycystic ovarian syndrome in women. My wife had this for 20 years. We had 2 miscarriages, 7 years to get pregnant, obesity, neuropathy, and the list goes on. And if you know people struggling with this, we're now going to show you this simple reset. And here's how this works. Why is it not? Oh, let me see here. It's not letting me move. There we go. Excuse me. So this is the solution. In the early 1900s, they started to remove fiber from our food. And as they did this, the shelf life of the food would go up, but you and your family's life would go down. Let me give you an example. What does a diabetic inject when their blood, what do they do? What do they drink when their blood sugar's too low? They drink what? And that blows up their blood sugar. Now, the higher your blood sugar goes, do you need to take more or less insulin? And so our company figured out, well, wait a minute. If they took the fiber out of the food, let's put it back in. And you can look up these 2 products in this protocol in the physician's desk reference. This is where doctors prescribe drugs from. It's now called the prescriber's digital reference. We have over 24 clinical studies now. Places like the Cleveland Clinic, the #1 heart institute on the planet. Why would the #1 heart institute on the planet study fiber? We're going to talk about that. It also is a nutraceutical, which means that it is pharmaceutical grade, but these are plants that are patented that can't be copied. And these are HSA, and FSA qualified. They're in over 63 countries. We're adding countries by the day. And they're guaranteed they work so well. This is the reset. And I forgot to mention that it's cost neutral. And if you're saving money on this protocol, just on your grocery bill, put a $sign in the chat. Now, this right here is $5.10 a day. It's a cup of coffee. And you're going to wake up in the morning, and because you went all night without consuming food, your insulin levels are low. Remember this, when insulin's low, the fat's got to go. You burn fat for fuel. And when you burn fat for fuel, like Linda taught you, your joint pain starts to go away. Your gut starts to, well, become healthy again. Your mental clarity starts to come back. You start to remember things. Your energy goes up. And we're going to keep that insulin low by sipping on this wonderful chlorogenic acid tea. And you're going to make the first thing in the morning. You can make it hot. You can make it cold. And this acts like natural metformin and Ozempic. And if this has made your food noise suppress or go away, put F and G in the chat if you would. Now, when we do this, we sip this till lunch. And then we eat lunch. And when you eat lunch, that's breaking your fast. You see, the word breakfast was coined by Kellogg's to sell us cereal. And we're just going to break our fast later in the day. And then when you eat, if you're like me, I used to have bad food noise. If food sat out, I would eat. It might be 3 almonds. And I didn't understand that that was causing a spike in my blood sugar. Well, now I sip my second pea and I just go all lunch all day. I get to dinner and I use this fibrous matrix that was studied at the Cleveland Clinic. And that fiber substance, what it does is it coats the food and it suppresses blood glucose spikes, medical research shows, by 43%. Now, what does that look like if you're maybe even a type 1 diabetic or a type 2? If your blood sugar was cut in half, would you have to inject more or less insulin? And if that's the case, and you were able to control this over time, you're going to learn from people that have been able to reset these things naturally. And you're going to use that fiber with that meal. Now, this fiber, the polyphenols, the polysterols, are clinically shown to reduce triglycerides by 11%, to bring down your A1C by 3% in 30 days. And it also suppresses blood sugar spikes by 43%. And that's the protocol. It's 2 T's and a fiber matrix. Now, I'm going to go back. I want to share a couple more testimonies, and then we can maybe even open up to a question or two. But I'm going to read some as Anne-Marie's getting the next person ready here. I'm just going to read a couple of these, okay, to you guys. So as I'm reading these in the chat, when we look at this, and if this has changed your life, scrolling up here. Thank you, Anne-Marie. IBS of over 40 years gone. Gut feels amazing. Got off metformin after 15 years. Reversed type 2 diabetes, Catherine said. I got off her Arbistatin after 12 years, and she's down 88 pounds. Tammy, down 33 pounds, more energy, blood sugar controlled for the first time in almost 3 decades, down 2 sizes, neuropathy is gone. Pina, I'm walking more. Look at healed the foot ulcer that took his life. This is Keith Newsom. Reverse type 2 that he had for 25 years, Keith. Off 15 meds, skin tags gone, off 108 units of insulin in 2 days. Went from a size 50 to a size 36. Guys, there are more and more in this chat. I can't even read them all.
What happened?
This meeting is being recorded.
It's interesting. That's not
Operating this thing and not me. I'd blow the machine up. Mila, you're on mute, honey.
All right, I'm here, hopefully.
Mila, thank you. I know you just got back from Atlanta, and so thank you so much for hopping on to share, your story with us. Thank you so much, honey.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. And I'm so glad to share this story, because the more I hear myself talk about the story, the more I realize that there are a lot of people, but especially women my age, who are going to relate heavily with my experience. Before the protocol, there's a lot. I had to take a breath because I think about how heavy it was to exist in my body, not just in a physical level, but a mental capacity that it took to function every day. And my friend said today we were barely functioning at all. We were struggling, and now we are thriving because my friend is doing this with me. So we encourage each other. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to try. This is a picture of me for my 40th birthday. And I told myself that I was going to get my health right by then, and I never did. So here we are for the 41st, maybe we'll get there. We will definitely get there. And what I noticed immediately is like, even just talking to you right here, I noticed like I see a huge difference. For the protocol, I basically just existed, and I had seasonal depression, regular depression, generalized anxiety disorder, that was diagnosed for a long time. I dealt with the not just inability to lose weight, but I was seeing that scale go up and up and up and up. I hit my rock bottom during the holidays, 2025. I actually found Dr. Kenny in late October, early November. I was doom scrolling on TikTok as one who is spiraling wood. And I typed in something that I was starting to consider maybe those things, Golf Lima Papa things that people are using to help them with their weight. And I decided, no, there's got to be a natural way to do this. And actually, that's how I found Dr. Kenny on TikTok, because I typed that in and he came up, and I listened and I listened and I said, well, it's all making sense, but I continued to put on weight every day. I'm 5'0". So when I saw 198 pounds on that scale, I said, oh no, that thing is not turning to 200, and I don't care what it takes to do it. So I said, you know what? What do you have to lose? You're spending $15 a day on a Starbucks addiction for the last 15 years. This is the person who knew when the pumpkin spice latte comes out every single year, 22nd. And I would get that drink I would get up out of bed, open my eyes, thank the good Lord for another day, and get in my car and drive to Starbucks. It was that bad. I would get a venti pumpkin spice latte iced with whole milk and lots of that syrup and cold foam. And I would just sip that all day long. Thinking about that now, I realize the destruction that it caused my body. So I said, you know what? You're spending all your money on Starbucks, and it's not even about the money. I knew intellectually that I was doing something unhealthy, but there was this like biological something happening to me that I couldn't stop. It was almost like I was a fiend, and I just had to have it every single day. So one night I'm doom scrolling on TikTok, sipping some more pumpkin spice lattes, and I'm crashing all day, and I'm eating caloric foods and lots of breads. And I was like, something has to change here. So I said, what do I have to lose? What's another $160 or whatever it is? Like they said, 90-day money back guarantee. Okay. So I gave myself, it came in 2 days before January 1st. I, having a Starbucks addiction, said, no, you're going to make the tea by your bedside the next morning. And I had ice, I had the water. I mean, everybody likes it their own way. I liked it iced because it gave me that Starbucks feel with all the ice. And because I had my fancy coffee machine downstairs calling my name too. So I said, no, you're not going down there. So I made it by my bed. I laid there. It was 8 a.m. and Dr. Kenny's on TikTok live every day at 8 a.m. And so I said, you know what, let me listen to him. It'll be really motivating and encouraging as I sip this tea. Within 15 to 20 minutes, I don't know what, something came over me. I said, I'm getting ready. I'm starting my day. I jumped up out of bed. I took a shower. I started moving around. I felt really good. Next thing you know, it's 2:00. I haven't thought about coffee. I'm on a roll. I'm very productive. And I said, this is really something. And I was in such a good mood that day. And from there on, so we are on day 68 right now. I am down 30 pounds on the scale. I am definitely losing inches as well because I've been measuring that a lot. First, I was floored by the results on the scale. I just couldn't believe it was possible because the protocol has also caused some sort of shift for me mentally with the better mood and the big results. I was more motivated to do more with my diet. So within a few days, I said, no more sugar. And I quit sugar. I actually quit dairy too, because I knew for years I was sipping that Starbucks and dairy needed to go away for a while. I chose to stop eating grains like pastas and, of course, refined carbs. And I had, by day 6, I said, I have all this energy. I just want to go running. I didn't know where it came from. And I was a lifelong gym hater. I said, that is a sad, gray place. And I preferred outdoor activities. And so my friend keeps trying to get me to go to Hot Works with her, which is a hot sauna in which you cycle at 130 degrees. It's really intense. I go in there with her. I fell in love with it. I said, I can burn off all extra energy in here. And I go every single day. I work out 7 days a week because I have so much energy, and I can't even recognize the person looking back at me in the mirror sometimes, especially recently, because I notice as time goes on, like there was a point day 30 and day 60 where I noticed even more drastic changes in my appearance, but also at first I was all about the weight. Now I'm seeing the mental health improvements, the positive thinking, the saying yes to things, the anxiety gone from the beginning. We live in New Hampshire and we've gotten hit with a ton of snow this year. And so a lot of people are experiencing seasonal depressive disorder here. Me and my husband, who is now on it, I think he's on day 32. He went from a size 36 pants to a 34 in pretty much 29 days. He's like, I think I'm going to be a 32 soon. And he has a list of benefits that are also mental health related as well. His blood pressure is excellent. My blood pressure is excellent. He's looking forward to going into the doctor's office and showing off. So he's looking forward to that. My mother's drinking this. My mother's best friend is drinking this protocol. My friend is drinking this. The woman that works at Hot Works has also joined us. And so now she's on the protocol. She loves it. There are many, many people who I've talked to who see me and they're just like, what are you doing? We just spent a few days north of Atlanta with some family. And as soon as they saw me, they're like, what are you doing? What's going on with you guys? They needed to know everything. My sister-in-law started the protocol as well. And I knew to bring extra stuff because I knew that was going to be a conversation as well. So, and you know, what's interesting is what really scared me back in December, November, when I was really hitting my worst was at night, my ankles would be really swollen. And I didn't realize this, but now it makes sense. I was probably turning pre-diabetic. And my husband's A1C was pre-diabetic anyway back in November, according to the test. So he's looking forward to seeing that. But pretty much like, I would say 5 days into the protocol, my ankles, the ankle swelling was completely gone. You know, but the mental health stuff, that's really been big for me because I have a background in psychology.
It's crazy, isn't it? Mila, thank you so much. Wow. Holy smokes. Kim.
Hey.
Kim, you have a very different, so you had shared some of this with me, right? I met you in Houston through another, individual that shared this with you. And would you go into that and like what this has done for you? I mean, it totally looked like a different human being, by the way.
Thank you. So am I echoing or am I good?
You are good.
Okay. So before the protocol, I was sick. And when I say I was sick, I was on 9 antibiotics in 10 months. And more than that, I was sick and tired. exhausted mentally and physically. Couldn't play with my kids after work. I'd go to bed and I was just sad because of it. So mental health. I had reoccurring sinus infections. I got diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome. I had a diverticulitis infection. I mean, anything I could get, I got. And then I got sick again. And this was the 10th month of getting sick. And I've been watching somebody on social media for a year. And I'm talking, you know how you silently watch, but you don't do anything. You might throw a heart, you might throw a thumbs up, but you're like, it's not for me, too expensive. You make all the excuses. And then that time when I was sick, I'm laying in bed and I have 102 fever. I did not know it at the time, but I had pneumonia, walking pneumonia. And I messaged that person and I said, I need your link and I need it now. I'm buying it. And I told my husband, you know what? We're a single house income at the moment, but something's got to give. And if we skip going out one time, you got it paid for. So I started November 30th. I didn't wait till January 1. I'm doing it, baby. And here I am 3 months in. My first month, I dropped 7.6 pounds. And that was December, when we're not eating all the best because it's Christmas time. I gonna get a little personal, but you know, women, how you have the bra extenders, got to throw mine out. Underwear was even big. And day 40, this sinus infection I literally had for what seemed like a year started coming out when I was using my neti pot. And I was not on any antibiotics. I was not on any prednisone. It just came out naturally from using this protocol. And I noticed my t-shirts were too big. I started putting my husband's t-shirts back in his closet. And that was like, and then month 2, I only lost 1 pound. And I was like, well, this is baloney. What's happening? So my friend was like, you need to measure yourself, silly goose. So I measured myself, 2 inches in my neck, gone, 2 inches in my waist, gone. And you know what else was gone? That food noise. And that was a miracle for me because I was the 2-hour eater. And if I smelled Chick-fil-A, I wanted Chick-fil-A. And I would get it, Chick-fil-A. But now I walked in there to use the restroom today and I didn't care. It was wild. And something else that I got rid of, besides the food noise, was my thyroid med. I talked to my doctor. I said, let's try this out. And boom, shakalaka, I'm good. And now month 2, I started shopping in my own closet.
So you said
Sorry,
that was in 2 months, Kim, right?
Uh-huh.
So Kim, when you were talking about your weight real quick, I want to point this out. I see this a lot with people, right? Did you notice how your clothes continue to take? So one thing people don't realize is that body fat, right, takes up about 5 times the space that muscle does. So when you're doing this, many people notice they get stronger, they get more muscle, which is denser, so the scale doesn't change. And Linda, I know you've noticed that too, right? And so what happens, your clothes start fitting different, your joint pain goes away, your rings start coming off. So don't judge your health by how much you weigh on a scale. Look at inches, look at your metabolism, look at your energy, right? So I wanted to point that out for, you know what I mean? But thank you very much.
I got a chin back. I had a chin. I have a chin now. And month 3, I lost 7.5. I had a full period I hadn't had in 3 years. My dairy sensitivity went out the window, very crazy. I couldn't see anymore. Turns out my eyes got better. So these are my new specs. And my husband was so like, ooh, I can't let you do this alone because I can't have you look better than me. He joined and he lost 16 pounds in 1 month. So if you're thinking about it, stop it. Just give in.
You know, don't wait 7 months to a year looking, right? You know,
do it for yourself.
They always tell us on the airplane, put the oxygen mask on first, right? You know what I mean? So Kim, thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, I was fortunate enough to meet you at that event and hear you speak, and I've already seen it transform your life then. And I was like, wow, it was so touching. So I know you have 2 young kids, and what more important to have your health to be able to take care of those kids, right? So
Amen.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And then we have Rick, and then we'll close this thing down. But Rick is someone I've been fortunate enough to meet. And Rick is just incredible. If you can find him, Emery, I know it's a little, we're combing through some people, but we've got a before and after of Rick as well. So, but guys, all this is a simple couple of T's and a fiber matrix, and it just resets insulin, detoxes the liver, and it feeds the gut. Emery, are we good? Are you able to find Rick?
I just need him to start his video. Rick, if you can start your video, we can get you up. All right, there we go. Thanks, Rick.
You're on mute, brother.
Okay, there we go. Now can you hear me?
Yes, sir. No, you're muted again, Rick. You muted yourself again, sir.
Unmute.
There you go. Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Kenny. I'm very excited because, first of all, I've got tingles through me by listening to all these other people, and I'm even on the program. So, but it's unbelievable. I am 72 years old, and on September 1st, 2025, I started this thing because my birthday's September 5th, and I said, I got to change my life. I'm fat. I don't, I'm not that feeling good. But this Feel Great system is a miracle, and I think the world's got to know. I've been exercising for 15 years and never lost a pound because I was eating the wrong food. The minute I got on the protocol, I started losing weight. I've lost 33 pounds in 6 months. I feel good. Some of the benefits of this program, I had a pain in my left shoulder, and the pain is gone. It must have been inflammation. The doctor said, it's not your heart. I said, well, what is it? He says, I don't know what it is. I also had a burning sensation in my right leg. Gone. My vision is improved. My memory is improved. My blood levels, I was a diabetic. My A1C is 5.6, and the doctors told me, you keep that up and we're taking you off metformin. Well, the metformin never got me below like 6.2, but this program has gotten me to 5.6, and maybe it'll go lower. My hands used to itch. They don't itch anymore. I used to get, in the wintertime, my nose would stuff up. It doesn't get stuffy anymore. My balance is better because I don't have a big tire around me. So, and then I used to have lots of finger flubs on the computer, and I thought something was wrong with the computer. No, there's inflammation in your fingers. I don't have finger flubs anymore. But this is the best of all. My wife now says that I look younger, and she's calling me a hunk. And I've been married to her for 42 years. So that's the best of all. And what am I doing real fast? I follow the intermittent fasting. I eat very little sugar and its sugar derivatives. I don't start eating. I don't take breakfast. There's an 18-hour fast. And this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change. And once you get off the sugar, you don't crave it anymore. Some people say sugar is worse than cocaine to get off. Well, get off the sugar, and man, the cravings go away. And I just thank you guys so much for introducing me to this.
Rick, you said something earlier when you and I spoke earlier. We were talking, and you were like, I used to walk miles a day, right? And you were talking.
Yeah, I still do.
Right. But you were saying you just didn't lose weight before.
I didn't lose any weight. I was at 210 for 17 years.
Are you walking more now, or
no? I walk the same 4 to 5 miles a day, but it's so. First of all, my legs don't hurt anymore. I used to have to climb steps to walk this path, and they don't hurt anymore. It's almost unbelievable. And doctors, the minute they want to recommend metformin right away, wouldn't it have been nice to say, there is a lifestyle change you could make, but their answer is going to be no one will follow it. Well, how many thousands of people do you have that are following?
Absolutely. Yeah. And Rick, has this been pretty simple, sir? I mean,
it's very simple. Once you get off sugar, you don't crave it anymore. And, in the morning, so you say, oh, I got to have the tea. Well, that takes care of your oral fixations. And then in the afternoon, you say, well, I'm getting a little bit hungry, maybe beef. Take another tea. It takes care of the desire to eat, and it's fantastic. And then I do the fiber before my dinner. It's simple as can be.
Has it been economical?
Well, of course, it's very economical because you're actually eating. You're not having breakfast, which is $15 at a restaurant, and you're at home. I don't know what it is, but some people say, "Oh, there's no value." But if the thing doesn't work, the thing's way overpriced. But this thing works like clockwork. It's the cheapest thing you can do because it works.
And I mean, comments like you're a hunk. I mean,
yeah, that's
like
good,
that, brother. Right? I love
it. Is that nice? I never heard her say that before.
I love it.
Yeah,
Rick, man, I swear, I love you, brother. I've got to talk to you a couple times, man. It's such a pleasure. Thank you. Any party? I mean, it's hard to follow up. And is there anything else you'd like to add before we close this thing down, brother?
Let's see. No, really, I'm not. I thank you guys so much. You've changed my life. I used to say maybe I'll live I'm 72. Maybe I'll live to 80. Now I'm shooting for 95.
Let's go a hundo, man. I love it. Absolutely. Rick, thank you so much, man.
No problem.
And thank you for everyone that's pouring in and whoever brought you to this, right? I would urge you to get with them. There's a 90-day money back guarantee on this thing. We know it works. That's why we guarantee it. It's so funny. In this world, I've learned that our testimonies are not for us. They're for others. The fruit's not for the tree. It's for the person that passes by. There's no accident you're on this. And I was praying just a few years ago for an answer and a solution, and it was brought to me, and it's never brought to you in the way that you think it's going to come. And if our system is so powerful, if it works so well in healthcare, why do they call it managed care? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. How long have you been managed? It's time to take your health back. Doing more of what hasn't worked is not going to work. And if you'll give this an opportunity, go mark down 88 on your calendar and prove us wrong. Because I've never seen this not work unless you don't open the box. But if you do what you're instructed and you're consistent, it will change your life. And your job is to change someone's world. And when you change their world, you start to change the world around you. So if this is what you've been looking for, if this sounds like it, and you're ready to change the way you feel forever, get with that person that brought you to this call tonight, ask them for their link, and they will save you 27% direct from the manufacturer with a 90-day money-back guarantee. And they will walk you and hold your hand through this process, and we will plug you into these systems so that you can change your life forever. For as the Bible says, if you love your children, give them the rod, show them the way. And if you do, you'll leave an inheritance for your children's children. It's time we take our health back. When we take our health back, we take this whole thing back. Thank you so much. God bless you all for your time. We love you. Thank you, and make it a great night.
The recording has stopped.